You've been using the hidden codes of reality all wrong. And that's exactly why your life keeps hitting the same dead ends, no matter how hard you try to change it. Right now, you unknowingly broadcasting the wrong signals into the universe, signals that guarantee you'll stay trapped in cycles of frustration, lack, and unfulfilled potential. The ancient masters knew there were 7 invisible laws that govern every outcome in your existence, but they deliberately concealed the true way to apply them. Most people stumble through life completely unaware these forces even exist, while others learn about them but use them backwards, actually creating more of what they're trying to escape. This isn't your fault. You were never taught the correct sequence, the precise method that transforms these cosmic principles from abstract concepts into tangible results. But what if I told you that every pattern you can't seem to break is actually pointing you toward the exact law you're violating? Before we continue, subscribe now to keep these videos coming, because only your support makes more content like this possible. There are principles that govern every corner of the universe, silent and unyielding laws that shape the very fabric of your reality. These are the ancient Hermetic laws, a set of truths that orchestrate the dance of energy from the grandest galaxies down to the smallest thoughts in your mind. They hold the key to deliberate creation, the power to fundamentally change your life. Yet, most people move through their days completely unaware of this force, ignorant of the very rules that dictate their every outcome. This is why manifestation fails for so many. You've been told to think positive thoughts, to visualize your desires, and to want it badly enough. But does that sound familiar? Have you poured your heart into creating change, only to feel stuck in the same place? Do you see the same frustrating patterns repeating in your work, your relationships, and your health, no matter how hard you try to shift your mindset? It's an exhausting cycle of hope and disappointment, a silent battle that leaves you questioning if you have any control at all. The problem isn't your intention or your desire. It's your application. You've been trying to surf the ocean of reality without understanding the currents of cause and effect or the tides of vibration. You've been working against the fundamental principles of the universe. But what if you could learn to work with them? The true way to apply these laws has been hidden in plain sight, an operating system for reality that you were never taught to use. The answers to your deepest struggles and the tools for your greatest creations have been waiting for you all along. Here's where the great error occurs, the fundamental misstep that guarantees failure. People learn of a principle, like mentalism, the law that the all is mind. The universe is mental, and they treat it like a surface-level tool. They believe they can simply paint a new picture over a rotten canvas. You focus all of your energy on the what, the new job, the perfect relationship, the healthier body. You try to force a different outcome with affirmations and vision boards, while the true engine of your reality, your subconscious mind, is running an entirely different program. This is the very heart of the problem. You send out a conscious thought of abundance, but it's carried on a frequency of deep-seated lack. You visualize success, but your underlying emotions are vibrating with old, familiar patterns of self-doubt and unworthiness. It is a house divided against itself. You are sending a scrambled signal out into the universe, a chaotic mix of desire and disbelief, and then you wonder why the results that come back are equally chaotic and unsatisfying. But here is the truth that will change everything, the pivot upon which your entire life can turn. The universe is not a catalog from which you order your desires. It is a perfect, unflinching mirror. It does not respond to what you want. It responds to who you are. It reflects your dominant vibration, your core beliefs, your emotional home base. Every frustrating pattern, every recurring obstacle, every disappointment you see in your external life is a direct reflection of a flaw, a contradiction, held deep within your own mind. That chaos isn't happening to you. It is flowing from you. This realization can feel unsettling, a heavy weight of responsibility. Good. It means you're finally waking up to the true nature of cause and effect, and finally seeing where your real power to change your life resides. This power begins with the first and most fundamental of the Hermetic laws, the principle of mentalism. It states simply that the all is mind. The universe is mental. Every mountain, every ocean, every circumstance in your life first began as a thought. This is the ultimate cause, the starting point of all creation. Yet, this is where most people unknowingly surrender their power. You allow tens of thousands of thoughts to drift through your mind each day, unexamined and undirected. You treat them as fleeting, harmless things, failing to see that these unchecked mental habits are the very chisel and hammer shaping your entire existence. To apply this principle correctly is to become the deliberate gatekeeper of your own mind. It means you no longer allow old patterns of worry, doubt, or lack to run on autopilot. You consciously choose the thoughts you will entertain. You begin to build a new foundation for reality, idea by idea. Start with this simple, powerful change. Each morning, before the world has a chance to impose its reality upon you, declare your own. Do not ask, but affirm. Speak aloud the thoughts that align with the life you intend to create. I am worthy of success. I attract loving relationships. My body is strong and vibrant. At first, this may feel like a game, but understand the profound energy you are setting in motion. Every single thought is a seed. Each affirmation is a seed of a new possibility planted in the fertile field of the mental universe. You are no longer just reacting to the life you see. You are actively planting the garden of the life you will experience. This is the shift from victim to architect. The weight of this responsibility is matched only by the exhilaration of its power. You are not just thinking, you are creating. This leads us to the second great Hermetic law, the principle of correspondence. Its ancient axiom is simple yet profoundly deep. As within, so without. As above, so below. This is the master key to understanding the mirror of reality. It means that your external world, your relationships, your finances, your health, is always a perfect and exact reflection of your internal world. There are no exceptions. The patterns in your life are a direct printout of the patterns within your own consciousness. Herein lies the great delusion of humanity. You look at a life filled with conflict and lack, and you blame the economy, your boss, your partner, or your past. You try to manipulate and control the outside world, rearranging the furniture in a burning house, while ignoring the blaze within. You are fighting with the reflection in a mirror, attempting to fix the image without ever looking at the source, yourself. Why do you feel so powerless? Because you are applying your energy to the effect, while remaining completely ignorant of the cause. Every attempt to change your life from the outside in is doomed to fail, because it violates this fundamental principle. To apply this law correctly is to turn away from the mirror and begin the courageous work of internal change. You must start using your life not as a battleground, but as a diagnostic tool. When a frustrating pattern appears, you must stop and ask the right questions. Take out a journal, and instead of writing about what they did, ask what belief within you attracted this circumstance. What unresolved emotion is this person or situation reflecting back to you? This is the work of true self-awareness. It requires you to trace the unwanted effect back to its hidden cause within your own mind. This is the uncomfortable, electrifying truth. Every hardship you face is a gift. Every challenge is a signpost pointing directly to a part of yourself that is out of alignment and begging for your attention. That feeling of unease is the friction of growth. It is the call to look within, to heal the contradiction, to resolve the inner conflict. Only then, when the cause is changed, will the reflection in the mirror of your life have no choice but to change with it. This brings us to the engine that drives the mirror, the third great law, the principle of vibration. This principle declares that nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. From the most solid rock to the most fleeting thought, everything in your universe is a pool of energy vibrating at a specific frequency. Your emotions, your core beliefs, your very state of being, they are not passive feelings. They are active, transmittable frequencies you are broadcasting into the universe every second of every day. This is where the application becomes critically important. Most people live in a state of energetic reaction. They allow external events to dictate their internal frequency. A difficult phone call sends them into a vibration of anxiety. A news headline puts them into a vibration of fear. A memory of past failure keeps them locked in a frequency of doubt. They want to attract abundance and joy, yet they are constantly vibrating on the frequency of lack and worry. It is like trying to tune your radio to a station of classical music, while the transmitter itself is only capable of broadcasting static. You are sending out a signal of what you don't want, and the universe, in its perfect, impersonal adherence to law, keeps sending you experiences that match that signal. To harness this principle is to become the conscious tuner of your own energy. It means you no longer leave your emotional state to chance. You deliberately choose to elevate your vibration. You can do this by surrounding yourself with uplifting people and environments, or through a dedicated practice of gratitude. Here is a simple, life-altering technique. Begin each day by dedicating 5 minutes to focusing on a feeling of pure joy. It doesn't matter what the source is: a memory, a pet, a future dream. The goal is to feel that high frequency in every cell of your body, setting your energetic tone for the day. This isn't wishful thinking. You are calibrating your being to a new reality. The universe responds not to your words, but to your frequency. Change your vibration, and you will find the entire world rearranging itself around your new song. This leads to the law that governs the very scale on which your energy moves. The fourth great law, the principle of polarity. It teaches that everything has its dual. Everything has its poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Light and dark, hot and cold, success and failure. They are not separate things, but two extremes of the same thing, differing only in degrees. And here is where you have been taught to fight a battle you can never win. You experience a setback, and you label it a failure. You feel fear, and you resist it with all your might. You are conditioned to see one pole as good and the other as evil, and you spend your life trying to destroy half of reality. But this principle reveals a profound truth. What you resist persists. By focusing your energy on fighting the darkness, you are actually strengthening its vibration within your subconscious mind. You are anchoring yourself to the very thing you wish to escape. The correct application of this law is not to fight the negative, but to consciously polarize yourself toward the positive. You do not destroy fear. You transmute it into courage. You do not annihilate a feeling of lack. You use it as a starting point to climb the scale toward abundance. The power lies in your ability to consciously reframe and shift your place on the pole. Try this now. Think of a challenge in your life. Is it financial worry? See that as one pole on a spectrum of financial reality. Its exact opposite is freedom and abundance. They are the same energy, simply expressed at a different frequency. Instead of fighting the worry, which only creates more of it, deliberately turn your attention to cultivating the thoughts and feelings of its opposite. This is the art of mental alchemy. Your struggles are no longer curses. They are invitations. They are the raw material from which you can create its perfect opposite, turning lead into gold within your own consciousness. This constant swing between the poles is governed by the fifth great law, a principle that dictates the timing of all creation, the principle of rhythm. It states that everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. Just as the seasons turn and the tide recedes, your energy, your motivation, and your opportunities move in undeniable cycles. This law reveals that the forward march of life is not a straight line, but a rhythmic pulse. And this is where people drain their energy and sabotage their own manifestation. You feel the tide of your life pull back, a project stalls, inspiration wanes, an opportunity disappears, and you panic. You interpret this natural ebb as failure, so you fight it. You push harder, you force the issue, you try to swim against a cosmic current, growing ever more exhausted and frustrated. You are trying to plant seeds in the dead of winter, wondering why nothing will grow. This resistance, this struggle against the natural flow, is a powerful broadcast of lack and fear to the universe. To apply this principle correctly is to become a master of timing. It is to learn the rhythm of your own life and align your actions with it. When the tide is out, you do not fight the ocean. You rest. You reflect. You gather your strength and repair your nets. This is the time for inner work, for planning, for clarifying your vision. But when you feel the tide begin to turn, when inspiration strikes and doors begin to open, you act with bold, decisive energy. You ride the wave with all your power. Begin to discover your personal rhythm. For 1 month, track the patterns of your energy and moods. Simply observe without judgment. You will soon see the predictable cycles that govern your life. This is not about passivity. It is about intelligence. By understanding and honoring these rhythms, you stop wasting energy fighting the universe and start using its immense momentum to carry you effortlessly toward your desires. You learn to replace anxious force with serene, confident, and perfectly timed action. And so we arrive at the great mechanism of universal justice, the sixth law, the principle of cause and effect. This principle states that every cause has its effect, and every effect has its cause. Nothing ever happens by chance. Chance is merely a name for a law not recognized. This is the universe's unshakable system of accountability, the ultimate law of consequences. Yet this is where people live in a state of profound self-deception. You experience the effects, the empty bank account, the strained relationship, the persistent fatigue, and you treat them as random misfortunes that have descended upon you. You curse your bad luck, you blame the world. You remain completely blind to the long chain of causes that you, yourself, have set in motion. You are a farmer who has scattered seeds of thistle and then stands shocked when his fields do not yield wheat. The correct application of this law requires you to stop reacting to the effects and become a master of causes. It demands that you trace every unwanted outcome in your life back to its source. Every effect is a lesson. That recurring argument is the effect. What was the cause? Was it a thought of resentment you harbored yesterday? That missed opportunity is the effect. What was the cause? Was it an emotion of self-doubt that stopped you from acting last week? Begin this practice tonight. Take an honest inventory of your day. Audit every significant action, emotion, and choice. That impulse purchase, that critical comment, that hour spent in worry, see them not as isolated events, but as causes, as seeds planted for a future harvest. Then comes the jarring and transformative truth. Every single circumstance of your current life is the fully grown harvest of seeds you planted in your past. The struggles you face today were created by the thoughts and actions of your former self. This is not a reason for guilt, but for a radical sense of empowerment. It dissolves all notions of victimhood. From this moment on, you can choose your causes with deliberate, conscious intent. You can stop planting seeds of lack and fear and begin sowing the seeds of the reality you truly desire. This is the moment you cease being a creature of circumstance and fully claim your power as a creator of circumstances. And so we arrive at the final principle, the law that governs the very act of creation itself. The seventh great law, the principle of gender. Understand that this has nothing to do with the physical, but with the two universal energies that exist within every person and every particle of the cosmos, the masculine and the feminine. The masculine is the energy of doing, of giving, of directed will. The feminine is the energy of being, of receiving, of nurturing the seed of an idea into form. Here's the crippling imbalance that defines the modern struggle. You have been conditioned to worship the masculine pole. You strive, you push, you hustle. You attempt to force your will upon your reality. But in this constant state of aggressive doing, you have starved the feminine principle within you. You are a creator who is always transmitting, but has forgotten how to receive. You wonder why the answers don't come, why the opportunities don't materialize. It is because you are shouting your request into the universe and then immediately filling the silence with more noise, leaving no space for the reply to enter. To apply this law is to learn the sacred dance between these two energies. It means taking bold, inspired, decisive action, the masculine, and then deliberately cultivating the quiet, receptive state of the feminine. You must create space for the universe to work on your behalf. This is the true purpose of practices like meditation, not just to calm the mind, but to still it long enough to hear the intuitive guidance that is always being offered. This is the hidden reason so many manifestations fail. An imbalance here blocks the creative process at its core. You can plant the right causal seed with your thoughts, but if the soil of your being is not receptive, it will never take root. You must learn to balance your effort with surrender, your action with allowance. This is not a call to passivity, but to a more intelligent form of creation. It brings a profound sense of wholeness, an eagerness not to conquer your life, but to harmonize with it, and in that harmony, to finally co-create the reality you desire. You now hold the keys. You understand the 7 principles that govern reality, from the mental nature of the universe to the dance of energy that creates your life. Yet for so many, this is where the journey stalls. You have the map, but an invisible force keeps you anchored to the spot, trapped by the gravity of your own history. This force is the subconscious mind, the vast, hidden archive of every belief and assumption you have ever accepted as truth. It runs the old programs of unworthiness and fear automatically, overriding your conscious attempts to apply these new laws. This is the final battleground. Knowledge alone is not enough. You must descend into the engine room of your being and rewrite the code that is creating your life on autopilot. This is not about force. It is about release. Here is the process. First, identify a single recurring frustration in your life. Now, ask yourself, what would I have to believe about myself or the world for this to be my reality? The answer is your limiting belief. Now, engage in this act of liberation. Find a quiet space. See that belief not as a truth, but as an object you have been carrying, a heavy, dark stone clutched in your hands. Feel its weight, the strain it has put on you for years. Acknowledge the role it played, the false sense of safety it once offered. Thank it for its service. And then, with a conscious act of will, visualize your hands opening. Watch as the stone tumbles away, falling into an infinite abyss until it vanishes completely. Feel the lightness in your hands, the new space you have created within. This is the stark reality. Without this deep, honest work of uprooting the past, every new seed of intention you plant will be choked out by the weeds of old conditioning. The life you desire is within reach, but it demands you have the courage to first let go of the one you've been living. And so the journey comes full circle, returning you to the one undeniable truth upon which all reality is built. As within, so without. Every law, from the mental nature of the universe to the rhythmic dance of energy, was a signpost pointing you back to this single sovereign power. Your life is not a random series of events that happens to you. It is a masterpiece that is flowing directly from you. Imagine your existence as a vast, blank canvas. Every single thought you entertain is a brushstroke. Every emotion you allow yourself to feel is a color mixed upon your palette. For years, you may have been painting with the murky colors of doubt, fear, and unworthiness, all while desperately wishing for a vibrant and beautiful picture to appear. You have been focused on the canvas, trying to will the painting to change. ignorant of the fact that you are the artist holding the brush. The principles are not tools to manipulate the painting. They are the lessons that teach you how to master your artistry. This is the final, liberating realization that flips every doubt on its head. The ultimate power to manifest the life you desire is not found in a secret technique, an ancient ritual, or an external force you must appease. The power is self-mastery. It is the disciplined choice to master the cause, your own consciousness, so that the effects must inevitably follow. You stop begging the universe for a different reflection, and you become the person who casts that reflection effortlessly. This is not merely a change in mindset. It is a fundamental change in your identity. You cease to be a creature of circumstance and fully awaken as a creator of your reality. The frustration, the helplessness, the endless cycle of hope and disappointment. These things belong to a past self that did not understand the laws of its own being. Now you know. The brush is in your hand. The canvas is waiting. Your power to shape your existence with deliberate intention is, and has always been, absolute. The journey through the 7 great principles was not an intellectual exercise. It was an activation. You now hold the complete operating manual for reality, the very tools used by the universe to create. The frustrating patterns of the past no longer need to dictate your future. Every day is a fresh canvas, an opportunity to consciously choose your causes, to deliberately set your vibration, and to align with the cosmic rhythm of creation. This is the life of the awakened creator, a life not of frantic effort, but of elegant and powerful flow, where the world doesn't happen to you, but responds through you. This is where our time together for now concludes, but your journey is just beginning. And it is a path best walked in community, with others who are also awakening to their own creative power. If this knowledge has resonated deep within your being, show your alignment. Join this growing community of conscious creators by subscribing, and be sure to activate notifications so you do not miss the next step in your evolution. Your transformation is a beacon. Share this understanding with anyone you know who feels stuck, anyone who is ready to trade victimhood for mastery. And now, contribute to our shared wisdom. In the space below, declare the single greatest insight you are taking away from this journey. Your realization could be the very key that unlocks a new level of awareness for another. The universe is a collaborative creation. To continue this exploration and integrate these principles even more deeply into your life, follow the path you now see before you. Your true work has just begun.